As a black person who happens to be black, there's something that the left tells me that I'm never to say, and that is that I'm black. I'm supposed to be some hyphenated person created by them, but that's not me because I was born in America, so in that case I'd actually be. Which really puts the emphasis on African. I'm not African. Oddly, the left tells me I can be pansexual, allosexual, very oriented, cishet, binary, little bit binary, non-binary, sort of binary, wanna be binary, could have been binary, should have been binary, polygender, gender apathetic, neutroise, I was French, neutroise. What is that, when you don't feel like boinking a French person? I don't know. All I know is that I'm not supposed to. Watch it there, Mr. Brown. There's also this thought that as a black African-American black person, I'm not supposed to celebrate the 4th of July because this is the United States of racist America, and that's not the day that the slaves were freed. That would be Juneteenth. And I'll be honest, even I can get sucked into this stuff. Like when I saw this video, where this young girl was all like,
guess what?
And I was all like, what? And she was all like,
the Memorial Day celebrated today has pretty much erased the contributions of African Americans.
And I was all like, what? She goes on to say in 1865, the Civil War was popping off in South Carolina. White folks split, but thousands of former slaves didn't split. And there were captured Union soldiers that didn't split. Well, they couldn't split because they were captured. And they were held up in some deplorable prison. Yeah, deplorable like the left thinks we are. But think of this. This place was way crappier, right? Think Detroit or San Francisco or any other city that's under Democrat rule. So bad that over 200 of these soldiers died. And they were thrown into a mass grave.
Ultimately, the Union won, and a few weeks after, the Confederacy surrendered.
They split too, and this is where the story gets sweet. Former slaves and black workers took it upon themselves to dig up bodies and give them an honorable burial with a parade and flowers and prayer. I had never heard this before. I wondered why black people had been omitted from this critical part of this holiday's history.
Why have black people been omitted from a critical part of this holiday's history?
Yeah, that's what I just asked.
Racism.
Racism. I don't doubt it, which is always assumed to come from the right. But under further examination, I found out that this racism, as usual, as per typical, all the time, goes the same way, same old story, we hear it all over again, comes from the left. I wish I could tell this young woman something so important. I just don't think she would hear it, though. You know what? Let me get a little help from my sister.
America, despite what CNN may tell you, is not a racist country. And when it was, despite what CNN may tell you, the Democrats were at the helm of it.
Thank you. We are not.
We are not, I repeat, not living through the civil rights era, and we need to stop.
Stop acting like we are. Thanks. I got this now. So you see,
Racism.
Okay, what is this? African-American, black African-American women interrupting me all over the place day?
John Logan, a Union Army general, typically gets credit for founding the holiday.
Yes, but guess what he was? A Democrat. History is cool. But it doesn't help the people who you think you're trying to help if you don't identify the real source of the racism. It gives a false narrative and results in voting
for Democrats every 4 years results in buyer's remorse every 4 years later.
I was fixing to say that. Love you, but you're gonna have to go. You see, when we keep voting in the same people who've been our oppressors, redefine us, and have us believing the worst about ourselves, like we are incapable of taking care of ourselves without them, we lose out, and we have nobody to blame but ourselves. Sorta reminds me of this joke by one of my favorite comedians about putting blame where blame is due.
My sister married someone from Germany, which is not the most efficient way to get back at them. But she's doing her part. I'm at a deli with him in New York. He says, Emo, I can't get a good bagel back in Germany. I said, well, whose fault is that? Thank you.